So over the last few days, we've been getting a slow drip of leaks, rumors, and details for what could be the next entry in the Ghost Recon franchise. It all began with a document that players could find inside of the Operation Oracle update for Ghost Recon Wildlands. Operation Oracle is a special mission that had you rescuing a Skeltech engineer that was taken hostage by the Unidad. Skeltech is a corporation in the Wildlands universe responsible for more high-tech gadgetry. Now, in this mission, you meet Ghost Team leader Cole D. Walker, who is played by actor Jon Bernthal. Obviously, it's a pretty big setup, and I think a lot of us were surprised to see such like a prominent actor playing a brand new character just kind of smack dab in the middle of Wildlands DLC. But now that we look at a lot of the rumors for what is being called Ghost Recon Breakpoint, things start to maybe make a little bit more sense. So let's get this out of the way. The only thing that has been 100% confirmed by Ubisoft is that there is a Ghost Recon reveal tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. EST. So tune in for that to find out if any of the stuff we're going to talk about today is real. For the rest of the video, we're going to be talking about rumors that are available to us via a post over on Reset Era and several other websites. All the sources and links will be located down in the description below. I'm going to just lay everything out for you guys, everything we know about Ghost Recon Breakpoint, and then I'm going to share my thoughts with you after that. So, Ghost Recon Breakpoint is going to offer a Wolves Collector's Edition. I'm only mentioning this because it is a full-blown Ubisoft Store exclusive Collector's Edition that features a pretty cool-looking statue that gives us some idea of potentially the aesthetic of some of the characters or the characters that we'll be playing or going up against in Breakpoint. We've got a character definitely decked out in military apparel, but also wearing, like a full-blown cloak, hood kind of drape thing, very scavenger-esque. We're seeing a lot of greens and grays in there, which does tie into what was supposedly leaked footage of the game that revealed a jungle-style environment. Moving on, the game is rumored to release on October 4th for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and you will once again be playing it as a 4-player, story-driven, cooperative Ghost Recon experience. This time, your team of possibly ghosts, we don't really know, will be going up against Cole D. Walker, Jon Bernthal's character that was introduced in Operation Oracle, who has seemingly gone rogue and taken with him an army of weaponized drones. This, of course, would tie back into the whole Skeltech advertising thing that we got for the original reveal leak, and that's pretty much all of it. Again, referring to the gameplay reveal that people apparently saw and are referencing, again, this is super rumorish stuff, it showcases a sequence in a quite nice jungle with mud mechanics, and then the squad clearing out an outpost. So clearing of an outpost in a nice jungle, pretty much every Ghost Recon reveal ever involves them clearing out an outpost. But I'm pretty interested in the mud mechanics thing. And I guess at this point, let's transition to talking about this whole reveal and what I think about it. Ghost Recon, released at this point, Wildlands, has been out for over 2 years. So it's not that crazy to have like another full-blown Ghost Recon sequel at this point. It is crazy when you consider the fact that for a very long time, games like Ghost Recon didn't really get like a hard-hitting spotlight. You know, it's probably since Advanced Warfare, we haven't really seen a consistent release of Ghost Recon games. Like Future Soldier happened, that took forever after Advanced Warfighter, and then it was just kind of like dead for a while, and then we got Wildlands. Wildlands has been extremely successful for Ubisoft, though. As far as the live service games go, they've had a massive community behind the game. I think it's one of the most underappreciated Ghost Recon games, one of the most underappreciated like tactical experiences on the market today. It's extremely customizable. Ubisoft has done a ton of work in adding content to the game and improving the experience via a boatload of free updates to expand the way players can play. Things like Ghost Mode, obviously the PvP that got added in. They've added, more and more sliders and options to turn off the HUD in different ways and to just make the game more difficult the way you want to make it. They've done a really amazing job with it, and they have been financially successful through their crate system, which I absolutely personally hate, but apparently people are spending money on it anyway. So it does kind of make sense at this point for them to say, hey, what if we give Ghost Recon a chance under the spotlight? And what if we just go right into another sequel? We've got our teams here. Let them make another project, and let's tie it right off of the back of Wildlands almost seamlessly with the release of Operation Oracle, where we can introduce a high-value actor as a new character like Jon Bernthal playing Cole D. Walker. So the setup makes a lot of sense. I will say, when I first heard about the reveal, I was like, really? What could they possibly be doing? A sequel to Wildlands? That seems insane, but the more I think about it, the more sense it makes. And honestly, the more excited I get about it. Ubisoft has done a pretty good job, in my opinion, over the last few years of giving their team the time they need. We've heard a lot of good stuff from developers working at the studio about like the work ethic at their studio and not pushing these people into grind and crunch. I know a lot of artists who work there, a lot of animators who work there, who have, sung nothing but high praise for what it's like to work at Ubisoft. And I think that has been reflected in a lot of their work. Even if you don't love like the story or the gameplay experiences that games like Far Cry provide, I feel like those games are really polished. They provide really enjoyable experiences. They may not always be hyper innovative or, super original, but they're really well made games. And Wildlands is just fantastic, and it's only gotten better over time, right? So I'm really excited, especially when we talk about the idea of something like mud mechanics being introduced. I know it seems like a small thing, but when I think about ways in which I'd like to see a sort of more tactical co-op experience like Ghost Recon become more challenging, I start to think about like improvements to the AI and environmental mechanics that can make up a greater part of the challenge of the experience. So like having to deal with mud as like a movement inhibitor, or as a way in which the player can even conceal themselves, that sounds pretty cool. I don't know exactly what direction they're going to take with the mud, but that's what I'm thinking of, and I'm like, okay. Also, if this is maybe more of a focused experience, where they're like, let's not do the same like ridiculously large world we did in Wildlands, let's make it a little bit more curated, and maybe we've got a larger focus on a smaller selection of biomes, or maybe even one biome, that could be interesting as well. I think if they're going to be focused on these mud mechanics, maybe we've got more of a jungle-focused experience here. Maybe we don't. I'm really curious about the world, because Wildlands is so huge, and I adore the work that went into making that ridiculously massive location. But at the same time, if you gave me a quarter of it and curated like the missions a little bit more, I'd still be just as happy. So I really don't know what direction they're going to go in that regard. Obviously we look at the Wolves Collector's Edition. We have apparel that feels like it'd be much more focused on a jungle style environment with those greens and the grays and the blacks, but I don't really know. I'm really excited about tomorrow. There's a whole lot of I don't knows, but I wanted to share some of these rumors and leaked details with you guys and hear what you had to say. Because honestly, it's cool to be really excited about Ghost Recon again. This is a franchise that I personally grew up with, the original game way back on Xbox, to Ghost Recon 2 and Island Thunder when they introduced the third-person camera perspective. I used to go to a LAN with my buddy and his uncle's friends every Friday night after school. For like 3.5 years, we played LAN Ghost Recon. Like, the Xbox 360 was out. We were still playing Ghost Recon 2 and its expansion. So, like, having Ghost Recon seemingly back in the limelight, that's really cool. And I think Ubisoft has done a good job with it, and I'm excited to see where they go next. Feel free to leave your thoughts on all of these rumors and more down in the comment section below. I will see you guys tomorrow, because I will definitely be covering that full reveal here on the channel. For those of you who've been keeping up to date with my whole mouse situation, I'm doing all right. I didn't really plan on working much this week. Let my mouth rest a little bit before I make it back to the dentist in a couple weeks from now. But I wanted to talk about this. This was like a really raw, like, I'm excited type thing. So we're going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.
You have been brought here for a purpose, the most important task of your lives.